Hello everybody, Benjamin Johnston here. So, I've played through Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now I've decided to take a look at the spin-off game, Uncharted the Lost Legacy. In Uncharted 4, there was a character that was absent from that game, and that was Chloe Frazer from Uncharted 2 and 3. Before this game came out, I thought it was like, that's weird that they would leave out Chloe Frazer, who is like a major part of the series. But once they unveiled this game for the first time, I got more than I bargained for, which I'm not complaining because Chloe Frazer's awesome. Not only do you get to see her again in this series, but now you get to play as her, which is a big plus for me. So in Uncharted the Lost Legacy, it follows the protagonist Chloe Frazer, who is on a search for a valuable artifact called the Tusk of Ganesh. And she's joined by a former mercenary, Nadine Ross, who was previously in Uncharted 4, and they try to find the treasure before a brutal warlord tries to get his hands on it. In comparison to the other games in the series, it is a smaller scale adventure, but it's the characters in this game that makes it a very enjoyable adventure. Chloe Frazer is back in this game, and she's just as great as she's always been in this series. She's less cold than she was in Uncharted 2, and she's more quippy, fun, and a little more caring this time, which makes sense considering how she evolved in this series. There is a character I didn't mention in Uncharted 4, and that was Nadine Ross. She was essentially an antagonist in the fourth game who would beat up Nathan Drake's ass in that one, but after the events of Uncharted 4, she has given up running the private military company that she owns and now decides to go into freelance treasure hunting. Now, I really like Nadine Ross. She's more fully fleshed out in this game than she was in Uncharted 4, and she's like the perfect counter personality to Chloe Frazer. Nadine's more straight to business, whereas Chloe's a little bit more carefree and fun. They don't always get along with each other, but over the course of the game, they do learn to work together, but they don't do it in a ham-fisted way. It happens very naturally throughout the course of the story, and they become a really fun pair to go on this adventure with. One of the standout scenes in this game is when they're riding an elephant, and it's one of the big character bonding moments in this game. It was such a touching scene that it almost reminded me of that giraffe scene in The Last of Us, though not quite as heartwarming as that scene, but it's still really good here. Combat-wise, it's pretty much identical to Uncharted 4. Like, you have the grappling hook, you have stealth that you can use to your advantage by hiding in the bushes. But they do add in a few new weapons like silenced pistols, which does make stealth a lot easier. So if you're looking for something new in this series, you probably won't find it here. However, the last action scene in this game is freaking awesome. It's as if the train sequence from Uncharted 2 and that convoy chase in Uncharted 4 smacked together, had a baby, and that was the result of this scene. It is very impressive in terms of a set piece and really fun to play and watch. Much like Uncharted 4, it does have some cool open sandbox areas where you get to drive around in your Jeep and explore. Chapter 4 in particular is where you spend quite a bit of time in, with a lot of puzzles to solve in them in particular. And there are quite a few puzzles to solve in this game, both optional and main story based. And they do a good job of mixing up the puzzles so that they don't all feel the same each time. Uncharted the Lost Legacy doesn't do a whole lot different from Uncharted 4 in terms of gameplay, but it's still a very entertaining adventure with fun characters, fun combat, and really engaging puzzles. If they're going to continue this series, I wanted it to be with these two. These two are a great successor to this series, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of them if they do decide to do more. So that was my review for the Uncharted series. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I don't know if I'll do more game reviews or not, but we'll see what comes up. You never know. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.